Welcome back to my channel. You already know it's your boy Hood Diggity, the Rock Reactor, back with another video. Yes, sir. Before I proceed, let me know where you tapping in from. Let me know what country, what city, what mountain, what hill, what cave, what island, what planet, what universe. Let me know where you at. Represent your hood. Yes, sir. You know, I still remember like yesterday, when I heard that there was an assassination attempt on Trump. I kind of smiled. I was glad that he was good, but I kind of smiled because that got him a lot of votes. I know that was going to benefit him in a way that it was going to bring him back to the presidency. It just hit me like right there. I kind of smiled. I was glad that he was okay. Then when I seen the video, you know, it wasn't meant to be, basically. It wasn't meant to be. It was written that Trump was supposed to go back to the White House again. I mean, go back to the Oval Office. It was just written. And then he got hit just by the ear. He went like this. And then he came up and he went like this. I mean, it was just something to see. It was entertaining. It was very entertaining. First of all, it was entertaining because God don't like ugly. He was okay. He made it out. He's a trooper. He went like this, and he looked heroic. Like that got him a lot of votes, guys. Like he was known after that as a true gangster. Like I don't know, man, but that benefited him whole lot. If there was a plot behind that, if it was just the stupid motherfucker that tried to shoot him, if there was something behind that, they actually benefit him. You try to do something bad for somebody, and what you did was you benefit him. I think that got him so many votes. It probably didn't help him overall to get into presidency, but that brought him from here to up here. So I don't know, guys, but right now we're gonna talk about. I had to talk about that because I remember the feeling. I remember like I laughed because it was like this is gonna skyrocket him. His popularity, like at that point, Trump was like the most popular man in the world. So let's take a look. Something happened. New revelations emerge on the Trump shooter. Let's take a look, guys. You know, I don't even know that guy's name. I didn't even care because we shouldn't even focus on him because he probably did it for attention. One of those nerdy kids, chicken choke is what I like to call, who sits at home, maybe in his grandmother's basement. He wants attention. But anyway, guys, let's take a look. And before we do, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the screen. New revelations emerge on Trump shooter.
New details emerging about the man who attempted to assassinate President Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. The White House says Americans need to know what happened, and so does the president.
There are so many questions out there, and
yeah.
I mean, you know, did he act alone, etc. And it's, you know, it's over a year, it's 16 months now.
For sure.
So,
yeah, I mean, those questions are definitely deserving of answers, and I understand why the public wants those answers, and I believe the president does too.
Alexis McAdams live in our New York City newsroom with the very latest on all of this. Alexis?
Hi, John. Yeah, if you can believe it, it's been a year and a half since the president was shot there in Butler. And Thomas Crook's internet history was full of red flags, according to the New York Post. A source saying he posted under his own name about shooting and killing politicians long before investigators say he shot President Trump that day. But the former FBI deputy director didn't say anything about the negative post Crooks wrote about President Trump when he testified in front of Congress. Watch this.
There were over 700 comments posted from this account. Some of these comments, if ultimately attributable to the shooter, appear to reflect anti-Semitic and anti-immigration themes, to espouse political violence, and are described as extreme in nature.
But listen to this. According to the Post source, Crook's online comments show he flipped from pro-Trump to anti-Trump pretty quickly. So he wrote back in 2020, or 2019 rather, that Trump was the literal definition of patriotism. But then just months later, he slammed Trump's supporters, saying they are, quote, too brainwashed to realize how dumb they are. Overall, his online posts show he had an obsession with assassinations, no matter how you slice it, typing up at one point, in my opinion, the only way to fight the government is with terrorism-style attacks. Sneak a bomb into an essential building and set it off before anyone sees you, track down any important people like politicians, military leaders, etc., and try to assassinate them. Those posts.
When you write a post, this is my question. When you write a post like this, look, he wrote this on August the 5th, 2020. This was during the pandemic, well in the pandemic. Why wasn't he red flag? Why didn't somebody bring this into account? When you write a post like this, you need to be looked at. You need to be looked at, and they need to investigate. You need to be investigated, like, thoroughly. And you probably need to be held accountable. Once you do this, that's it. I don't get it.
Posts reportedly were flagged by other users, John, who actually mentioned the police in their comments. But the question is, did the feds ever follow up here? The New York Post source uncovering also new videos of Crooks practicing his shot. That would-be assassin was dry firing the handgun inside of his bedroom in his parents' house out near Pittsburgh. He has that Marvel thing, too, also on the wall behind him. FBI Director Kash Patel did release a statement saying Crooks planned and conducted this attack alone. But again today, more growing calls for a new investigation into the Butler shooting, including from the widow of Cory Comparator, who was killed, saying, let's just start over and look into this even more, John.
I mean, it really is striking how much was actually out there compared to what we were told about all this. Alexis McAdams, who's been following the story literally since the moment it happened. Thank you, Alexis. Let's bring in former Deputy Assistant.
This guy was a walking time bomb, and he was posted online. He was letting people know that he was a walking time bomb. This is one of these nerdy kids that want attention. I do not in any way think, I may be wrong, but I do not in any way think that he was working with somebody else or something, because this guy looks like he's a loner. This guy looks like nobody would really fuck with this dude.
Attorney General John Yoo. So we've been led to believe, John, that Thomas Crooks was basically a ghost without any significant online presence. Here's what the FBI director told us last year.
In terms of what we've been able to find so far, a lot of the usual repositories of information have not yielded anything notable in terms of motive or like ideology.
And now we learn a completely different story. I mean, can you wrap your head around why we weren't told about this a long time ago?
John, it's amazing that the FBI missed all this. As your report suggested, this is all out on social media. This is available for people to see. The FBI should be pouring extra resources into this kind of case, not just because someone tried to kill a presidential candidate, that's bad enough, but we're living in a time of increasing political violence. This is also during the time when we had another assassination attempt on President Trump. We had an assassination attempt on a Supreme Court justice just before that, and we had the murder of Charlie Kirk after this. So I think the FBI should be pouring more resources, not less, into trying to stamp out this kind of rising political violence that threatens democracy and that is threatening our elections and our electoral process.
Yeah, as Alexis McAdams was pointing out, there was a dramatic turnaround in Crooks. He went from Trump supporter to rabid anti-Trump opponent. Here's what Miranda Devine said about that change.
He was pro-Trump. And then in January of 2020, he flipped 180 degrees. Something happened to make him become rabidly anti-Trump. And then suddenly something happened in August of 2020, and he just disappeared online. Very unusual. And then, of course, in July of 2024, he fired off 8 shots from a rooftop at Donald Trump.
So you heard Director Wray, then FBI Director Wray, saying nothing in terms of motive or ideology. I mean, it seemed pretty clear there's a lot out there in terms of motive and ideology.
Sounds like the FBI should be hiring Miranda Devine as one of the investigators, because she's getting more to the heart of it than the premier nation.
I would like to know if they ever questioned his parents, because he was living in his parents' house, obviously. So his parents should have seen some type of red flag that this kid apparently had issues. Maybe that mental issues, but, well, yeah, somebody that does that has to have some type of mental issues. But they should have shouldn't they seen that this behavior, you know, the behavior, him playing with guns and posting all this stuff, and I don't know, but somebody should have seen something, especially when he made that post. His parents, they're living with him. Don't you think that they saw something? Did they ever sit down and question and interview his parents? Because it's not like he was living somewhere else. He was married or whatever. No, he was living with his parents.
Nation's premier law enforcement agency. If Miranda can find these things online, then the FBI should have had this before her. And maybe it's the case that this is just another piece in what we're seeing with lack of competence in the FBI, growing public distrust in the FBI, and maybe this is an opportunity for Congress to step in, have its own hearings. As you said, some people have said we should have another second investigation. That's the kind of thing Congress could do. Let Congress interview these witnesses, put this social media up, and do it in a way that the American people are going to trust, because it seems like we can't rely on the FBI to get to the bottom of these things anymore.
John, I want to ask you about the vote that's coming up in Congress, maybe in the next hour or so, on the release of the Epstein files. It has come to light that delegate from the Virgin Islands, Stacey Plaskett, was having an ongoing live text messaging fest with Jeffrey Epstein during a hearing in 2019, February, in which Michael Cohen was the witness. This occurred just 4 months before Epstein was arrested on sex trafficking charges. Watch this montage of the timeline as it unfolds in front of you.
Reduce his real estate taxes. I'm sharing with you 2 newspaper articles, side by side, that are examples of Mr. Trump inflating and deflating his assets, as I said, to suit his finance testimony. As I noted, I'm giving the committee to
Mr. Weisenberg and other individuals, Ms. Rona. Who are those individuals? As Ms. Rona, what is Ms. Rona's position?
Rona Graff is Mr. Trump's executive assistant.
And would she be able to corroborate many of the statements that you've made here?
Yes, her office is directly next to his, and she's involved in a lot.
Yeah, the Democrats, John, are trying to make this all about President Trump. It would seem that the Democrats, including Ms. Plaskett, including Larry Summers, have got more of a problem with their relationship with Epstein than the president does.
I think President Trump's made the right call here, and members of the House, to say, let's just put it all out there. At this point, there's so many rumors and scandals around. The best thing for the American people to see is all the evidence. In general, I don't like the idea of law enforcement information being put out there because it might impede future investigations. But in this case, let everyone see. And what we're seeing now is the amount of influence and corruption that this guy Epstein was able to exert on well-known figures, a member of Congress during a hearing. That is incredible. Or the president of Harvard University. I think that's something we need to see more about in the public.
And again, that hearing was in February of 2019. 4 months later, Epstein was arrested for all of his nefarious crimes. Really is quite remarkable. John, always good to catch up with you. Thank you.
Good seeing you, John.
All right, Sandra?
Hey, everyone.
As far as the Epstein files, I haven't been really focused on that. I just know that I just think that exactly what the gentleman said. Let's just go ahead and let it. And then supposedly Trump said this. Just release it. Release it. Put it out there. And that's the only way you're going to put it behind. You're going to put it behind. That's the only way it's going. That's the only way to turn the page. Release it. Whoever needs to be prosecuted, including Trump, let it be. Whoever, America is supposed to be a country of accountability, right? So release it. It's the only way to put it past all of us that are interested in what's going on with the Epstein file. It's the only way. Guys, you already know, man. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Any donations to my channel will be greatly appreciated. My PayPal account is on the screen. Peace, love, and God bless.